Hello students, I am Dr. S.R. Dandote. I welcome you to the 5th video on semiconductor physics. In this video, we will be discussing about the principle, construction and working of solar cell. At the end of the lecture, you will understand how solar cells are constructed and how it works. There are so many appliances in which solar cells are used, as simple as calculator, or for lighting purposes, or for satellites. Solar cells or solar panels are used for generating power, and many more. So as far as solar cells are concerned, basically it comes in real practice in the form of this PV system, that is called as photovoltaic system. This photovoltaic system consists of several solar panels in it. There are so many solar panels. Now if we consider this individual solar panel, it consists of numbers of solar cells which are connected with each other. And now if we focus on individual solar cell, for that we can have further discussion in terms of its principle, construction and working. So remember, solar cells are connected in solar panel and this number of solar panels are further used in PV system. And this PV system is basically used for power generation. Electrical power is generated. So fundamentally solar cells are used for the conversion of light energy into electrical energy. Means there is directly conversion of light energy into electricity. No any intermediary part is used. So which type of light? Generally we use sunlight. However, solar cells can be activated with the help of any kind of electromagnetic radiation. That includes visible light, then invisible light like infrared or ultraviolet light, or it can be other electromagnetic radiation just like as X-rays, gamma rays and so on. But commonly used is sunlight. So that's why PV cell is considered as a solar cell. Now, how this conversion of light energy takes place into electrical energy, that principle is called as photovoltaic effect. The working principle of solar cells is photovoltaic effect. This word photovoltaic it consists of two terms, photo plus voltaic. This word photo is connected with input and voltaic represents output generated from the solar cell. So its input is photo, that is photon energy, means light energy. We know that light consists of numbers of photons in it, and that photon energy is h nu, which is supplied to solar cell. So by absorbing this photon energy, solar cell functions and against it the output is generated, electricity is generated basically in terms of voltage. So output is voltage, and when we connect these two words, photon plus voltage, the word is photovoltaic. So remember, the basic working principle of solar cells is photovoltaic effect. Now if we consider the material used in the fabrication of solar cells, generally solar cells are made up of semiconducting materials. These are semiconducting devices rather, and commonly used semiconductors are silicon. So silicon is taken in the form of P-type and N-type. So P and N-type of semiconductors are connected with each other, which are very thin in nature. The P-type of semiconductor having thickness hardly of 2 to 3 micrometers is taken and is deposited on N-type of silicon wafer, which is comparatively thick. However, practically it is also very thin. It has thickness of about 200 micrometers. Now 200 micrometers means 200 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter. That is 200 into 10 raised to minus 3 millimeter or 0.2 millimeter. So if we consider thickness of N-type, it is 0.2 millimeter, and see how thin that P-type is. So in general, we can say that very thin layers of P and N-type semiconductors are deposited over each other. Now we know very well, whenever these P and N-type semiconductors are considered in the form of a junction. See, this solar cell also is a kind of PN junction device. Means it is much similar to PN junction diode. However, its functioning is totally different than that ordinary diode. So anyways, this PN junction of solar cell consists of this junction region, that is depletion region. We know very well, when such junction is formed in P region, there are majority charge carriers as holes, and majority charge carriers are electrons in N region. So these majority charge carriers means when junction is formed, initially these holes diffuse from P region to N region and electrons are diffused from N region to P P region. That means whenever they move across the region, they recombine with the opposite charge carriers, and this way a charge-free layer is developed across the junction that is called as depletion layer. And whenever there is movement of one electron from N type to P type, that means there is loss of one electron, and therefore there will be formation of one fixed ion, immobile ion with positive charge in N region across the junction. In the similar manner, we can say that when hole is transferred from P region to N region while having its diffusion, there is loss of one hole, means loss of one positive charge, and hence fixed negative ion is created in P type across the junction. So due to diffusion of holes and electrons in opposite regions, a row of fixed ions is created, and because of that some barrier potential is developed. That barrier potential is Pb. Okay, now let us see here it as shown in this diagram. This solar cell consists of a layer of anti-reflecting material over it. In one of the chapters, that is in interference, we have seen the mechanism of this anti-reflecting thin film coatings. The basic purpose of this coating is to enhance the transmittivity of solar cell. That means when light falls over it, the light will enter the solar cell with more and more intensity, and that is possible with the help of anti-reflection coating. Now what happens when light falls on this solar cell? It will be absorbed by both P as well as N regions. So in order to have the light with sufficient intensity in N region, the P region is made comparatively more thinner than N region. Okay. Now when light enters in both P and N type of semiconductor, it breaks some of the covalent bonds, and because of the breaking of the bonds, few electron hole pairs are created in the corresponding regions. Means apart from the majority charge carriers which are holes in P type and are electrons in N type, there is creation of these electron hole pairs, and this happens because of the absorption of light. Now these newly created electrons are not expected in P type of region, because if these electrons remain in the P region, there will be recombination of the electrons with holes, and these electrons will lose their energy in terms of heating. So there will be loss of the energy. Similarly, these holes should not stay in N region, because again these will recombine with the holes and will lose their energy. So few electrons and holes will recombine, but few of them will be shifted in opposite regions by means of this barrier potential. Already I have discussed what is this barrier potential. Across this depletion layer, we have the development of this barrier potential, which has negative polarity towards P and positive towards N. Across the junction it is present. Now due to this barrier potential, these electrons, unwanted electrons, will be shifted from P region to N region, and holes from N region to P region. Try to understand. Whatever the number of electrons and holes as extra created, of that few will be lost in recombination and few of them will be transferred in opposite regions. Now because of this, what happens? Already this is P type of region, means there is greater density of holes. Few holes are created due to absorption of light, and few holes are getting shifted from N region to P region, and that is the reason why further in P type of semiconductor we find net positive charge, whereas in a similar manner across N region the net negative charge is produced. Now point to be remembered here is that initially before absorption of light, the device was electrically neutral in nature. Though it is P type, which consists of majority of holes in it, net charge on P surface is neutral, and the charge on N type is electrically, again the surface is neutral when it is not activated by light. But that neutral device, after illuminating by light, shows some potential difference against it. That means some net charges are developed, and by means of metal contact, if it is connected in the external circuit by having ammeter in series and by connecting voltmeter across this load, circuit is completed and we get some current flowing through it, or across the solar cell potential drop is observed. So this is how this light energy. See, overall what is happening? The solar cell receives light as input, photon energy as input, and as output we are getting some voltage. So this is what called as photovoltaic effect, and this is about the construction and working of solar cell. Now in the next video we will continue with IV characteristics of solar cell, and we will discuss few merits, demerits as well as applications of solar cell. Thank you.